This is why you took a second job. While you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. While you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
Hey, what are you doing?
Just throwing your empty bottle in the garbage.
Don't you know plastics go in the blue container?
Mayor Frank Jackson and the City of Cleveland are committed to keeping your neighborhood clean and green through the use of the city-issued trash and recycling carts. It's safe, convenient, and mandatory. For more information, contact the Cleveland Division of Waste Collection at 216-664-3717.
How did you get to be so smart?
I had a good teacher.
Thanks for tuning in to TV20's weekly news wrap-up. I'm Leah Haslage. At our recent Cleveland City Council caucus meeting, Council President Kevin Kelly announced that the city would be increasing its financial commitment to resurfacing roadways.
I'm going to be discussing a comprehensive, data-driven plan to roadway resurfacing that's going to maintain every roadway in the city of Cleveland on a systematic basis such that every roadway in the city of Cleveland will be resurfaced at least once every 20 years on a rolling basis. We have to commit to resurfacing every roadway in the city of Cleveland. We have to commit to having it being data-driven, and we have to be, better and smarter about how we're spending capital dollars. We're going to be spending a lot more dollars on resurfacing, okay? And at least in 2015, every city ward will be receiving a higher allocation than was received last year. We're going to spend enough to resurface 5% of our worst streets every single year, up to $10 million. So we're going to be going from $4.4 million to up to 10 to address this problem that we have. We're going to go from 4.4 to up to 10 million. It's going to be based on science. It's going to be systematic. It's not going to be perfectly equal. It's not going to be divided by 18. It's going to be entirely based on need. And if we adhere to the principle that it's going to be needs-based and we're going to do 5% a year, this will be impactful.
The Ohio Public Interest Research Group surveyed millennials in Cleveland on better options for transportation. The results were recently released at a press conference held at the RTA headquarters.
We do a lot to care to students. We provide virtually all the transportation for the Cleveland Board of Education junior and high school students. We have a very active UPass program where we serve all the major universities in the Cleveland area. Last year was our first year with the UPass program with Tri-C, and ridership increased by 50%. So again, if you provide them with the service, they will use it. In total, students make up about 23% of our total ridership.
So a lot of planning officials and government officials are always looking for ways to keep students here, keep the smart, educated, motivated students here, and the number two way to do it is through transportation and having availability outside of owning a personal car.
I've seen how investing in bike and transit infrastructure has propelled both of these campuses forward as academic hubs, as residential hubs, as cultural hubs, and as commercial and economic hubs. And we are seeing continued development on these dedicated lines. And I think it's really important to understand that almost all of the hot spots of development in Cleveland are incredibly close to RTA Red Line, and that's not a coincidence.
To see the full RTA Ohio Report press conference, stay tuned to TV20. Check our schedule for times. The City of Cleveland was recently recognized by the U.S. Energy Department for their ongoing leadership in saving energy and reducing greenhouse gas emissions within Firehouse Number 1.
So far, we've realized in this building, in Fire Station 1, so far we've realized a 12% savings as a result of this lighting, and also we've utilized infrared heating in our apparatus bays. The goal obviously is 20%, and we hope to realize that in phase 2.
Energy efficiency and green building practices are a really important part of our Sustainable Cleveland 2019 initiative, which is our 10-year plan to design and develop Cleveland into a thriving and resilient city. And energy efficiency and conservation is a large part of that. The need to improve energy efficiency is not simply an environmental issue, but it's also a factor in the basic premise of what we think a competitive economy can be here in Cleveland.
So we're thrilled that in Cleveland, not only is the city doing a tremendous job stepping up and fulfilling their energy reduction goal, and I'm very excited to walk through the fire station today, which is the city's showcase project in the Better Buildings Challenge. Showcase projects are a wonderful opportunity for other cities to see what Cleveland has done and emulate your success.
To see the full recognition ceremony, of course, stay tuned to TV20 and just check our schedule for times. If you see someone illegally dumping debris, the City of Cleveland is asking that you please report it. Here are some easy steps if you spot someone illegally dumping waste. Get a detailed description of the car license plate, number, make, and color. Provide a detailed description of the suspect's race, height, and weight if possible. Record the date, time, and location of the incident. And there is a reward available if the violator is convicted. Report the incident by calling 216-664-3867. Let's keep Cleveland clean and green. The City of Cleveland celebrated Women's History Month by honoring the service of 15 female employees at the 2015 Employee Recognition Luncheon.
The reason that it is critical is because as women we play multiple roles: wife, mother, lover, sister, friend, social worker, co-worker. The roles are varied and very complex. We care for our families, our friends, the church, our parents, civic engagement, and the workplace. Too frequently we leave ourselves last, don't consider ourselves, we just go the distance because it's what we know. It's what we saw. It's what we've witnessed in our households from the women that nourished and gave us the energy that we need.
We celebrate all of the diverse cultures of the city of Cleveland. However, the amazing contributions that women have made to our city deserves a special place in the city of Cleveland.
To Mayor Frank G. Jackson, to the Women of History Planning Committee, to the directors, and to my sisters that I stand in honor with. I stand here humble and to say thank you. Thank you so much for choosing us, for we know many are called but few are chosen. So I thank you all, and to be in the business of service, you have to truly love the service that you are providing. Then it's just not a job, it's a passion.
Congratulations to all of this year's honorees. Volunteers recently gathered for the grand opening and expansion of the new Hunger Center at St. Paul AME Church to raise awareness for hunger in our community.
We had a center that was operating for many years that had closed down, and we are very pleased to have St. Paul's open up to serve this area as part of the Hunger Network's 34 main pantry operations throughout Cuyahoga County. So right now the Hunger Centers and soup kitchens are serving about 60,000 people a month in our area in Greater Cleveland, and about 25,000 of those are children. About 16% are seniors, and many of our families live on incomes $1,000 or less per month.
This is a choice where the individuals be able to come down and actually make a selection of the type of food they're going to be getting. They'll get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they're set up accordingly. Upstairs, they'll do the intake where they'll actually be given a card, and it will tell them how many individuals are in the household so that when they come down, the appropriate amounts of food will be given to them.
For more information on the Hunger Center of Greater Cleveland, visit their website at hungernetwork.org. Ward 12 Councilman Anthony Brancatelli and other community members joined together in Slavic Village to unveil the new decorative arch spanning across Broadway Avenue and East 49th Street.
We're proud to be here and proud to be part of this community, and it's exciting to be here for this arch dedication. We have a wonderful number of pieces of art throughout our neighborhoods. We have a number of cultural institutions, civic institutions, the Blooming Onion, which we actually call the Rotafloral over on 49th and 49th and I-77. We're going to continue to use art to represent our community and show what a vibrant neighborhood we are.
This is a great, I would say, a great tribute to the neighborhoods. And to me, it's sort of like bridging the gaps between all the Slavic Village areas, because there's so many areas here basically, and I'm very pleased and very proud to be able to represent part of Slavic Village and to be able to work with such other great council persons such as Mr. Tony here and also Phyllis Cleveland.
And I love the arch. I love the fact that Slavic Village is willing to consider its future, which, who knows what that will be, but, hopefully it will be something great. And I think the arch symbolizes that the neighborhood is worth investing in, that it is a unique place. It's a place that really is almost like a second city rather than just a neighborhood.
The public art is a part of neighborhood beautification. It's also part of community development. Right. When you take the time to invest in the small things in the neighborhood, not just the big buildings and things like that, but you take the time to invest in the smaller things that people may not necessarily notice right away, but they pay attention to. And it gives them a feeling, yeah, there's hope, there's things happening here. And that's what we try to do, every opportunity we get.
Stay tuned to TV20 to see the full ribbon cutting ceremony. It's a beautiful arch. Well, when we return to the weekly news wrap-up, CMSD TV reporter Shannon Cantner will show us what's new with our local students.
Our Better Business Bureau helped us avoid losing thousands of dollars to a loan modification scam.
My BBB helped me find a mechanic I can trust.
My BBB helped our company show support for high ethical standards in the communities we serve.
My BBB helped boost my company's online presence and brought in new customers.
Find out what your BBB can do for you at www.bbb.org.
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So, what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. I could be one of the first college graduates from my family, the first philanthropist from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there's a second and a third. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Schools across the district stayed open a little later than usual recently for parent-teacher conferences. The district hoped extending the hours would make it easier for more parents and caregivers to attend. I went to several schools, and from what I saw, I'd say it worked.
We had parents lined up outside our door. It started at 12:30. Some parents came in at as early as noon.
And they remained busy right up until 7 p.m. when conferences ended. A steady stream of parents picking up report cards and learning about their students' progress.
I feel connected to the school and engaged because, me being a parent, right now I'm in school, and school's like really taking up all of my time. So when I do get the chance to go out and, see what's going on with my kids, especially in school, it's a wonderful thing,
It allows us to foster that communication that we all need with parents. We can't do this without parents.
Parents spoke one-on-one with teachers and learned about the junior year capstone project to give students a head start. Schools across the district found unique ways like that to encourage parent participation in conferences. Under the Cleveland plan, all parents or caregivers are required to have face-to-face contact with their children's schools each year. Principals take that seriously. The number had reached about 75% by the end of the first semester.
We love to make parents feel welcome and at home here at Mooney. We provide refreshments. We have activities and things set up so that if there's little ones around that need an activity to do, we try to set that up for the convenience of the parents so that there's clear communication between the educator and the parent on their child's progress.
And that's very important for moms like Isabel Zaldana with a daughter in pre-K and her son in 4th grade special education.
My communication with his teacher is huge because I work, full-time. I can't volunteer and be here, but when there's open house or any chance to talk to the teachers, I'm here.
And many parents feel the same way. Mooney stayed busy throughout the afternoon.
We're doing pretty good. Parents are coming in and out and leaving with smiles, so we're very proud about what we're doing here.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow, Jillian.
Say see you tomorrow.
Bye, Victoria.
Victoria, say bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
The district is waiting to receive the numbers from all the schools regarding parent attendance at the conferences. We know at least one school with 100% attendance, though. At Campus International, the students lead the conferences. The district would like to see more schools adopt that model. From the CMSD TV studio, I'm Shannon Kantner.
Thanks, Shannon. To learn more about what's new in our schools, visit clevelandmetroschools.org. And when we return to the weekly news wrap-up, we'll get an update on our local athletes and teams with sports reporter Christian Patterson.
Hey, what are you doing?
Just throwing your empty bottle in the garbage.
Don't you know plastics go in the blue container?
Mayor Frank Jackson and the City of Cleveland are committed to keeping your neighborhood clean and green through the use of the city-issued trash and recycling carts. It's safe, convenient, and mandatory. For more information, contact the Cleveland Division of Waste Collection at 216-664-3717.
How did you get to be so smart?
I had a good teacher.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow!
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, by the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to TV20's Weekly News Wrap-Up. I'm Christian Patterson, and here's a look at what's going on in sports. But before I wrap up what went on in Cleveland sports this past week, I have a Cleveland sports trivia question. Over the past 10 seasons, how many home openers have the Cleveland Indians won? A, 4, B, 6, or C, 2? Stay tuned because I'll have the answer to the Cleveland sports trivia question at the end of this segment. This 5-year drought may not seem like a long time, but for the young Cleveland Cavaliers stars, it's been a grueling process. While it was widely assumed that the Cavs will reach the playoffs this season, their ticket was officially punched on March 20th. Now the Cavs are back in the playoffs for the first time since 2010. Kyrie Irving and Tristan Thompson will end their playoff absence in year 4 with the Cavs. Kevin Love, although having just joined the Cavs this past summer, will be in the postseason for the first time in his 7-year career. On the opposite side of the spectrum, the Cavs are loaded with veterans who have turned the playoffs into an annual tradition. So having a variety of both veterans and youngsters should only aid to the Cavs' championship quest. Well, as a part of the 2015 NBA Green Week, the Cleveland Cavaliers franchise hosted their 6th annual Cleveland Cavaliers Green Week. Let's take a look at what was going on at the Q during NBA Green Week. This year, various representatives from local green organizations were invited to Quicken Loans Arena to highlight their sustainability efforts in the city of Cleveland.
And we're here for our annual Earth Day celebration, Earth Fest. It's held in April of every year. This is our 26th year presenting the event. It's also Ohio's largest environmental education event. Since 2009, the city of Cleveland has been celebrating different environmental themes each year. We go ahead and we partner with them and share their message, share that theme. So this year it is the year of clean water.
The Wine and Gold strive to go green year-round. Thanks to their use of recyclable cups, plates, and plastic products provided by Aramark at Quicken Loans Arena. Also, during NBA Green Week, there were fewer copies of Sword Magazine and Tip Off Tonight program to conserve paper, and additional recycling receptacles were placed throughout the arena. Recycling doesn't stop at paper and plastic products. Most people aren't aware that throwing away old clothes and shoes can be very detrimental to our ozone layer. Planet A is a reliable resource for donating unwanted clothes and shoes.
Say your cotton t-shirt has stains on it, rips, something like that, and you throw it away. One cotton t-shirt is going to sit in that landfill for 6 months. A pair of sneakers, leather top, Kyrie's, LeBron's, we're at the Cavs game, they can sit in the landfill as long as 50 years. One pair of tennis shoes. So all of those, if they can't be reworn, they can be repurposed into playground turf or NFL turf, stuff like that. Everything can be reused.
Cav's been absolutely wonderful because what we have been able to do in the past is we had students contact the Cavaliers and let them know about our interest, and so they invited us to come down to NBA Green Week to be able to show the community what we're doing, and I know they do that for a variety of other groups as well. And what's really cool then is we also hold a dodgeball tournament on our school every year, and the Cavs give us prizes to give to the winners. So they've been extraordinarily generous with not only their place, but with items that we can use to help generate interest in our dodgeball tournament. And it's the money that we raise from that then ends up going into being able to build solar panels or go to the tigers. This year it's all going to go to help save these tigers. So.
Spring is here, and that means it's tribe time in Cleveland. The Cleveland Indians home opener is this Friday, April 10th, against the Detroit Tigers. The Indians have a 5-game homestand, 3 games against the Detroit Tigers, followed by 2 games against the Chicago White Sox. The Indians will wear a number 7 patch on their right jersey sleeve during the 2015 season to honor the late Al Rosen. Rosen, the 1953 American League Most Valuable Player, died March 13th. Rosen played his entire 10-year Major League career in the Indians uniform. The NFL has finally reached a verdict on the Textgate scandal surrounding the Cleveland Browns organization. Browns general manager Ray Farmer is expected to be suspended for 4 games for suggesting play calls to coaches during games. The organization was also fined $250,000. At least we didn't lose any draft picks. Lord knows we need as many as we can get. The moves are part of an NFL-wide crackdown against rule breaking that alters the outcome of contests. The Cleveland Gladiators were the first team in arena football history to go undefeated. They won 17 games last season, but lost their final game in the Arena Bowl against the Arizona Rattlers. Well, their first home game this season is against the Arizona Rattlers this week, and they're more than ready.
There's a lot of motivation. I mean, obviously, they beat us last year in the championship game. We didn't play well. So there's definitely going to be motivation. Every year is different, and you don't want to say, hey, this is last year. But when you go to that 1-0 mentality, it's still true this year. So, we brought it up right away again. Hey, we can't focus on, it's a long season. We got 18 games. We can't focus on 18 games. We got to focus on 1 game at a time. So we still need that same mentality of 1-0 that we had last year.
The Gladiators have started the 2015 season in winning fashion. In their first game against the Tampa Bay Storm, quarterback Shane Austin threw 7 touchdowns.
I think 3 guys had 2 touchdowns and 1 guy had 1 touchdown. So that's really what you want to do. You want to spread the ball around so they can't key on anything. We knew going into the year that, we had Colin Taylor and Goody back, so we knew we had chemistry with those 2. But we had 2 new guys playing too. So it was good to see Amari get 2 touchdowns and Andre to get 1. So hopefully that chemistry will just keep developing in the weeks to come.
Well, the chemistry with veteran wide receiver Amari Jackson seems like it materialized day 1. Jackson is a big receiver who made his presence felt in the first game, scoring 3 touchdowns for the Gladiators.
Well, it's not just the chemistry with the quarterbacks. They both great quarterbacks, but the chemistry amongst the group themselves, the receivers and stuff, the returning guys, the way they're helping some of us, the guys that came in. You know, the camaraderie is really good around here, and the togetherness on and off the field. I'm just one of those guys. I'm a team player also, and that's what they teach around here, and that's what the way the guys are around here. That's just the guys they want around here, and so I just try to buy in and fit in right where I can, you know, and just like a puzzle piece, man. Just do my part, do my job.
Well, the stage is set for the rematch of last season's championship game at Quicken Loans Arena, Saturday, April 11th. The Cleveland Gladiators are working hard in practice day in and day out to make sure they get revenge. Although the motto is to go 1-0 each week, the home opener is one that they're eager for. Losing in the championship didn't sit well with the team, and they're ready to turn a championship appearance into Cleveland winning its first Arena Bowl. And before we end this segment, as promised, I have the answer to today's Cleveland sports trivia question. The answer is A, 4. Over the past 10 seasons, the Cleveland Indians have gone 4-6 in home openers. Well, that's all I have for your TV20 weekly sports wrap-up. When we return from break, we'll have more with Leah.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Certain times of the year are trigger points in my life, you know, like October. We had bad battle time. So it comes back, you know, and you say, well, I'm not to think about it, but you don't have to think. It just sneaks up on you. It's like a ghost in the night saying, hello, I'm back, you know. Yeah, so you learn to deal with that, and you feel the triggers coming. Your brain's acting on smells, sounds, you know, that bring memories up. And you'd be surprised the things, like certain songs can get me off, you know, get me rolling right down the hill with anger, depression, and then others will do the complete opposite, cheer me up. So, I mean, no, it's how can I put it? It's things that you have to learn, and you need outside help to, like, look at you. You need a sounding board.
Welcome back to TV20's Weekly News Wrap-Up. A lot has happened in Cleveland over the last few weeks, and here are a few top stories in case you missed it. The Neighborhood Housing Clinic event, sponsored by Judge Raymond Pianka and the Cleveland Housing Court, was held at Collinwood Recreation Center and offered information to residents with various housing concerns.
Building and Housing is responsible for inspecting all structures in the city of Cleveland. We inspect when people are building new buildings or are repairing or adding on to an existing building. And we also inspect properties that have maintenance issues so that the property owner can maintain them up to code.
One of the biggest issues in the city of Cleveland is housing. And there's so many different aspects of this issue. People wanting to rehab their house, people wanting not to lose their house, concerned about vacant property next door, predatory lending, predatory loans. So the great thing about what Judge Pianka is doing with his team here is that we have whatever the problem is associated with the issue of housing, we have in this room. Of course, we have the council members here too from the Northeast to answer questions. So I think it's a great one-stop shop situation for people who have a problem but don't necessarily know how to solve it. So I think it's great.
I'm glad that Judge Raymond Pianka put this event on so my residents will get an up-close view with the presenters and the providers.
People were freezing for a good reason at Edgewater Park for the 6th annual Cleveland Arctic Plunge.
The end, where Enzo is this with the back. Freeze frame!
And what made you guys decide to start doing this plunging in the freezing cold waters of Lake Erie?
Yeah, well, 6 years ago, my good friend Mike and I decided to start the Arctic Plunge to raise money for some good causes. It's a way for us to give back to the city of Cleveland, and it's just a great event for people to actually come out and have a good time.
So why is this Arctic Plunge so important to you guys?
Well, we are raising money for important causes. It's bringing everybody together down at Edgewater Park. Every year, it might be a little warmer, a little cooler, but it's getting everybody in the water for important causes, and it's very important, and it's hysterical. It's great. It's a righteous riot.
What's your favorite part of the event every year?
My favorite park is promoting the Metro Parks. We have the best Metro Parks in the country. I love all the work we do for the charities and the fun, and it's just making this a Cleveland tradition.
And what made you decide to come on down?
New Cleveland resident, figure this is kind of my initiation to the city, so figured why not.
Where are you originally from?
Outside of Boston.
And how long have you been in Cleveland?
About 9 months.
Okay, so we have less snow than you just came from.
Yep, for sure.
Kathy, what made you decide to come out today?
Got to do something crazy off of a bucket list every now and then, and it's also for a great cause. They put the money to good use. So
this is your first time doing it?
It's actually my second time. I didn't learn the first time.
And what have you learned the second time, you think?
Move fast.
You just came from plunging. How did it feel in this cold weather?
I got about halfway, and then I just came back. It was the worst.
Tell us what this experience has been like.
Cold. My feet are like frozen right now.
What made you decide to get involved this year?
I work for Parma Police Department, and the one officer sent out an email. I guess I decided to do it, you know.
And are you regretting the decision, or are you excited that you participated?
I can cross it off my bucket list.
All right, you just came from plunging. What was it like in this weather?
Oh my God! Actually, I thought it was gonna be worse, to be honest. I'm actually not. I'm not even really cold right now.
Are you just so numb and just frozen?
Yeah, just the legs. Mostly in the legs. I can't really feel them, so I'll probably feel it later.
What was the hardest part of doing that?
The ice chunks kicked, like, as you got deeper, just like it was harder to move your legs, so I just had to kick them out of the way.
Now, is this your first time participating?
First time, yeah.
And what made you decide to come out?
Oh, it just looked like something fun to do in the wintertime. It's not like really a lot to do, like outside and stuff, so why not?
So you'll definitely recommend it to friends for next year.
Oh, for sure. And the money all goes to a good cause too, so.
Women gathered at the City Hall Rotunda to learn more about fibroid tumors in a presentation as part of the Women's History Month series.
It is such a debilitating disorder, and so often, or too often, people are not talking about the effects of mentally, emotionally, and psychologically on women. We hear a little bit about physically, but not nearly as much as we should, considering the numbers and scores of women that it affects. It is imperative that we as women, and in particularly African American women, because we're the most affected by the disorder, take an active role and spearhead the effort in terms of research, education, information, and creating resources to really help women all over the country deal with this issue.
It's really a serious issue for women, and we need to have everyone know this. I didn't realize until today how many women are affected by this. I've gotten to the point where it pretty much cost me my job from having this issue. And I want everyone to know, if you have this issue, please get it addressed.
Tune in to TV20 to see that full event and to learn more about fibroid tumors. The Beauty and Brains Empowerment Series networking event took place at Crop Bistro. Entrepreneurs from our community gathered together to connect and grow.
Not just networking, it's also a roundtable discussion. So we're talking about pushing your passion or your purpose into profit. We want you to learn how, from other people who have made their vision become a business.
Small business owners spoke about their journey as well as the importance of networking as a whole.
Cremation is not traditional in the funeral industry, so trying to decide to start a cremation company was very out of the norm. But we did it, and which is kind of funny, on my 40th birthday. I don't know who else received a crematory on their 40th birthday with a crane coming in there. But I did, and I have pictures to prove it. And that was 2 years ago, and it has been the best decision that we've ever made.
The network marketing, even though I wouldn't do it now, it really helped me in doing what I do now, because now I can walk up to people and I can talk to people and I can network with people and tell them who I am and what I do, you know, it kind of gave me confidence to be able to network. And that's the thing that we all really need, you know, in doing what we're doing right here, is we need confidence.
There are so many great events and activities here in Cleveland to enjoy, and here's a list of what's going on. Spring has arrived in a big way at the Cleveland Botanical Gardens with the 3rd annual Big Spring. TV20 went to the gardens to see all the fun activities that are in store for you and your family. Well, right here we're in the lobby, and these umbrellas are gorgeous. What's the inspiration behind the lobby area when people are first walking into here?
This area is spring showers. You may be able to hear behind us, we have a spring thunderstorm going on. The umbrellas certainly lend itself to that, and we have a lightning show that happens in here, and it invites you to go into the next room, which is big flowers.
Yeah, okay, big flowers, of course, it probably makes kids feel like they're in this enchanted garden.
Absolutely. Kids can come in here where the plants tower above them, and the stems of the plants glitter, and some fog that creeps up from the ground just to simulate a spring meadow.
Now, when they go past this enchanted garden, they come into this really fun space where you can be creative. Tell us about this area.
Well, the Garden of Fun is a great space for kids to just play freely. Inside of there is a tea party that's called the Mad Hatter's Tea Party, where they can simulate a tea party, a maze called the Ladybug Labyrinth. They can go through there and also learn some facts about ladybugs along the way. There's also a dress-up area. Kids can put on insect and animal clothes and put on a show for their family and friends. And then also float a boat at the Puddle Bug Boat.
Now, as we continue on towards the back, we get to play with some more insects. Tell us about those.
Okay, well, our mealworm races take place in the back. Super mealworms, which are the larva stage of beetle, race back there. We have folks that will get the mealworms out for the kids, or the kids can get the mealworms out for themselves, learn a little bit about the life cycle of the beetle, and race and have a little bit of fun as well.
And then there's the log area.
Yes, the Discovery Log. We're featuring herps this year, reptiles and amphibians, 6 different, and in addition, we're featuring our eastern box turtle. So we have a daily butterfly release in the Costa Rica biome, and blooming outside are tulips. This past fall, 10,000 tulip bulbs were planted right adjacent to our terrace, and we expect those to be blooming hopefully any time now, probably mid-April to late April. Those will be out.
If the weather can just cooperate.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, is the price of admission included for like the pedal boats and all that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. Admission is free for garden members and also members of the Holden Arboretum, and it is $12 for adults and $8 for children.
That's all for your TV20 Weekly News Wrap-Up, where you get the whole story. I'm Leah Haslage. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the bottom line up front with City of Cleveland Media Relations Director Dan Williams.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race.
Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Thanks for watching TV20. We are Cleveland.